1, 2, 3. Cocks don't pop at all, poppycock cocks do poppy by 4. And that's why all the folks on poppycock keep poppycocks in a jar. But once I met a girl on poppycock back in the poppycock hills, they won't let me back on poppycock, reckon they never will. Well, poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old poppycock, poppycock, you and me, Rose and Baldini. The earth don't spin at all on poppycock, flatter than a hot roadkill. And beer don't stick to balls on poppycock, reckon it never will. Once I met two folks on poppycock, one bald, the other likes cats. She wild as a rosy, quicker than a satellite, no poppycock about that. Well, poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old poppycock, poppycock, you and me, Rose and Baldini. Take a Trey. Sheep don't like to flock on poppycock, ain't no poppycock pens. You might just find yourself on poppycock, waking with a poppycock kin. And poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old poppycock, poppycock, you and me, Rose and Baldini. Why so freaking early? Poppycock, you and me.
Why so early? I don't know, man. It is freaking early. Welcome, Poppy Peepers. It's great to see everybody. We got Juan Torres and Nathan from Commercial Sound and Video, and Long Yov and Kevlar and David Vincent. Winston, my friend, great to see you. Fluttershy Bear, what's going on with your connection? You get one channel but not the other? I don't even get it, man. Billingtano, great to see you, my friend. Let's see here. Shinso, hey, great to see you. And Ginger Sugar Bush, welcome, Yaz Child. Let's see, Rob B. and David Rife and all the usual suspects we got going on here. And we're going to be joined today by our friend. Let me just call up. Well, I got a special guest for you this morning. Good morning. Is this Miss Beefy?
This is Miss Beefy.
We brought the steaks. I love it. Welcome. This is Karen B., the coolest chickie in all of the Flat Earth community. Welcome, my friend.
Well, thank you for having me.
It's a delight to have you. Our friend, as everyone's friend, Rose 777, still tied up with the trying to catch up before the what do you call it? The thing. You know, man. Come on, man. The thing.
The solar return?
The solar return. That's what we're talking about. I turned into Joe Biden for a minute. Oh, dear. I had to sniff it out. No, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet already, please, make plans to do so pronto, as we have the Solar Return Festival coming up in just a couple of weeks now. You can go to flatearthfestivals.com to get all that in there, flatearthfestivals.com. I'll drop that link in the chat for you. Boom. There you go. Coming up, and of course, it's going to be music and arts and all sorts of goodies. We got Watson Atkinson, Christian Knapp, Chief Crow, the Flat Earth Worms, and special guest ODD TV. Come on, man! If that doesn't get you a light, set your fire on. Well, your woods.
ODD. Listen, ODD was supposed to be at the very first conference. He was supposed to do a presentation at the first one, and he. At the last, like right before it happened, he bowed out. He was like, nope, I'm not going to do it. And then he never really attended another one, formally. He was never part of one, but he did show up in Denver, and hung out. So that was cool. And then we all went and had a party afterward at, I forget the name of that place. somebody would know. If Sarah's in the chat, she knows what it was called. But anyway, this bar afterwards, and everybody was singing karaoke, and then ODD went up and he like karaoke'd his own stuff, and it was fun. We all had a
Awesome.
blast.
Yeah.
So that was the last time that I remember or that I know of that he was out in the public, with anybody. So
Yeah, he had a lot of stuff going on, right? Moving around and all kinds of.
Yeah.
Anyway, but he's now announced that he's going to do the Never Sleep Again movie project. I guess maybe Jason and Crow's Shoot the Moon film, feature-length film, got him inspired perhaps. But he's going to do a feature-length film and is looking for support for that. You can check out ODD TV for more information. I'm sure he'll discuss that. Perhaps I'm sure he'll bring it up. But I'm super delighted to have ODD TV, as I was trying to say earlier. But I had rented lips, and so they're little. But yeah, if that doesn't light you on fire, your wood's wet. That's an old thing they used to say in church. Oh, hallelujah!
Thank you, Sarah. Goosetown Tavern. That's what it was.
Oh,
yes.
What's good for the goose is good for a gander, I always say. Right, so there you go. Also, Media Bear, Cammie and Zach with How the World Works. One Big Love. Jason Lindgren is going to do some of his tunes. And I don't know who this guy is. The Great Baldini going to do some kind of jam session. I don't know if you're... yeah, jam, jelly, whatever. But yeah, if you're interested in that, of course, you can send me an email, unintended.consequences3@gmail.com. If you play an instrument, you'd like to get involved in that jam session, let me know. We're going to try to rotate some people in and just have a good time. I got, let's see, Rico's Tinfoil Sombrero is going to play drums a bit. I think Jason makes it in for a minute. Anyway, we'll have a big time. I'll bring some noodles, and yeah, it was going to be a big time. So again, if you haven't gotten your tickets for that, go ahead and do that. There's accommodations nearby. And people keep asking, yes, it is going to be in the belly of the beast at the Shriners Event Center. No, there's nothing creepy or weird about it. Well, I mean, there might be about them, but not about us going there. It's just a place that we could go without masks. And so we said, fuck the fucking fuckers.
Listen, there was 400 of us there for Flattoberfest, and we had an awesome time.
Yes, we did.
Mask-free, no social distancing. I mean, right in the middle when everything was at its heaviest, when everybody,
exactly.
when nobody was doing nothing.
Yep, exactly. And we did not, in fact, not only did not social distance, but there was all kinds of hugging going on. So Waters Above was all kinds of hugging, as was Zulu 1. Major hug fest. Even Mac Flat Earth Rocker got into the hug fest. So there you go.
Oh, yes.
So I have to be careful because I've been known to break people's ribs with big hugs. It's not a joke. Not on purpose. It just happened. So you can get your Fuck the Fucking Fuckers FTFF t-shirt. You can go to the Etsy shop here. I'll give you a link to that. But he's also, so you can see that this is kind of a one-off here. He's got a few of those, but he's now done. He sent me a video of silkscreen, so he's silkscreen these shirts. He'll have them available at the Solar Return Festival, and I will be hooking up with Scooter to get. I'm going to give away a few of these shirts. So there you go. Just because I love you. No, I'm going to pay him for it, so you can have it. He's not doing it for free. I just said, hey, man, I want people to wear this shirt, so I'm going to give a few of them away. So we'll figure out something. I also am interested in maybe we can do this either later this week or perhaps early next, Karen. I'd like to maybe set up and I'll sponsor maybe one ticket or a pair of tickets. If you give me a deal on that, I'll pay for that for if somebody wants to go and doesn't have the means for that, but they can get there. We'll figure out a way.
I also have, by the way, I do have another person who wants to remain anonymous who did send me money to cover 3 tickets.
Outstanding. Have you figured out how you're going to do that? I
have no idea.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's figure something out.
But I told the person I would make sure people who needed it got them. So I have 3 tickets for people who need them.
Cool. Well, that's 3. Well, maybe I'll add 1 and we can go 4, right? So I'll...
All right,
double
let's
down.
Do
but
that.
I'll sponsor a 4th, just because I'm that kind of guy. But I don't want anybody to miss out. What I do know is I've been getting a number of emails, as I always do. But one of the primary reasons that I started this channel to begin with, right, was when I began doing the Awakening Project. And one of the things beyond, and of course, if you're not familiar with that, it's just I thought that there was a way to do some metrics on why some people wake up and some don't. And I think I've found some interesting stuff, and we'll be talking more about that in the coming months. And all sorts of things have happened in the interim, including starting this channel, which kind of slowed things down a bit. But so there's certainly some interesting stuff there. Is definitely proof of concept. There are some things that we can point to. But one of the things that came up is that almost everybody in this community has felt alone and isolated once they change their paradigm shift and they realize the nature of the world is illusory. And so they're no longer losers. No, wait, no. No, but once they wake up, right, and then everybody ostracizes them, so they feel very alone. We are many, but we're spread thin. And so one of the purposes of this channel was to let you know that you are not alone and to get people together. And so what you've done with these festivals, Karen, is so important. Again, I can't thank you enough, and I know the community feels the same. Just the opportunity for people to get together and to mingle with one another and share the love, really, it is powerful, right? And as we continue to think about things like energy, right, and frequency, vibration. Having a conversation with a couple of people over the last couple of weeks about the nature of this and the fact that you're an electromagnetic being and you literally put out an electromagnetic field, right, if you want to call it the aura or whatever. But it can be photographically in photography. It's a thing. It's not just woo. It's real. The heart puts out a large electromagnetic field and about 3 feet in every direction, which is why they want to keep you 6 feet apart, because you connect with other people that way. And when you get a bunch of people in the same place, and especially of the like mind, again, shown over and over what happens. A crowd takes on a life of its own. They call it mob mentality, but people do begin to behave in a way that's togetherness, right? And so when that is positive and love, oh my gosh, it has a profound physical effect on everybody there and around it, right? So it's like the holy hand grenade of Antioch. Just throw that sumbitch out there. But anyway, I don't want anybody to miss this opportunity, for reasons they just can't afford a ticket, right? If you can find a way to get there and a place to stay. I know last time Trey Clark slept in his car. Well, that's what he's kind of homeless, but he's been in the doghouse for so long. No, Trey Clark is awesome, and he's did the PoppyCock theme, as you know. I was going to say he also unplugged the stream, but I still haven't forgiven him for that.
Yeah, that was something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was something, all right. Anyway, let's get into some PoppyCock this morning. I was mentioning emails, right? And one of the things that has occurred is awesome. Christian Knapp did a rendition of it. Oh dear. I can't wait to hear that. I'm sure I'll hear it in a couple of weeks for sure. All right. So one of the things that I've received emails on, which is really sad, and I've seen this around. In fact, I had noticed a bunch of my normie, muggle, wool-wearing friends, whatever you want to call it, had been posting on social media, virtue signaling, and they're so excited they're getting the jab, right? Like they won tickets to the Super Bowl or something. It's just ridiculous. And it makes me sad. And everybody's all, oh, awesome. And every time I put the little sad face on there, like the crybaby face, I keep wanting to say, been nice knowing you. But I know that will cause aggravation. But what we're seeing, unfortunately, is a number of people are having very averse reactions to it. In fact, even Newsweek in their fuck check have 966 people died after receiving the COVID vaccine. Yeah, in fact, it's actually been more than that. Now, of course, they're trying, as they do, to say, well, it doesn't have. They're not connected in any way. Okay, yeah. 966 people drank tequila and got drunk, but nothing about that. Yeah. So many of them were healthy, otherwise healthy, and the deaths had occurred between 0 and 49 days after the vaccination. Many of them are just a few days. I saw yesterday like 15 pictures of, and again, I haven't been able to verify it, but they did look pretty legitimate, of people who had posted on social media how excited they were after they got their second jab, and then within a week there's a side by side of a their obituary and that they died suddenly. And that's, just like 15 of them. Hey, Ali B, I'm sorry to see you're buffering. What is going on, man? I'm going to have to take... I have some conversations about YouTube to have too, but anyway, I got an email overnight. In fact, just early this morning from one of our listeners who is a terrific person. I won't say who, but and her dad passed. She couldn't talk him out of getting it, and he got it and dropped dead. Man,
oh my God.
I'm so distraught over the whole thing. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it, right? And I know that fighting people, or I don't know what to do. It's really breaking my heart because this is not now just a what do I want to say here? This is not just a choice, right, or a preference. This is life and death shit. People are dying, right? And then when I see because I was going to touch on it earlier, conversations about what you see in the media, that they're when they present people who have alternate views. How about that? I guess that would be us. But when they present us as domestic terrorists, and they're really making the case that we don't deserve to live. Right, and it really is the precursor for genocide. You dismiss people as being unworthy of living, and so they're making a case, and it is frustrating as fuck. And I'm not sure quite how at this point to respond to it, because I do see this, and I see people I care about getting, again, excited to get the jab. And then you see stuff like this. It's not mandatory, but this is what fully vaccinated people can do, right? You return of freedom. Well, it's not freedom if they can take it away, right? You should know that already. So there's a list of guidelines, the things that if you qualify, right, millions of freedoms that millions in the U.S. once took for granted.
Well, it's not freedom if you wait for them to give it back to you either.
Yep, exactly. I said it's not freedom if it can be taken away. It's not
right.
Real, right? It's it's permission. They give you a permission slip. So exactly. No, it's not mandatory, but you can't do anything. I don't know. And of course the variants they've got going on. Man, I don't know. I'm a little, like I said, that kind of shook me up this morning. A few things going on that just really. Man, it's really, really tough, right? Is that, again, this is not just a preference or, like the face diaper. Yeah, like the face diaper. It's like, okay, that's an indication of what's going on. And again, you can certainly see who out there is a real person versus an NPC just by the look on their face. But now people are, I don't know, man. Again, it's not as if the depopulation agenda is written in stone. Georgia Guidestones.
I know, right?
Yeah.
That's what those things are. Those things full of liquid with the pointy thing on the end. That's exactly what that's for.
Yep. Yes, it is.
There is no other purpose.
I agree.
In my opinion.
I mean, that's an opinion I agree with. It seems like the two purposes are, one, again, to get people to agree to it, right? They need your consent. And so whether it affects you or not, they have your consent. And then it is rife with, sorry, David, it is rife with apparently deadly stuff that can kill you, and it has to some people. Very possible. We see sterilization. I see that, Corey. That's a possibility as well. It is unconscionable. And the fact that, again, they put the, like Facebook and other social media puts that instant fact check or anything that they see that you're dealing with that word, the VA word, then they'll say, oh, it's been extensively tested for safety. Well, that's an overt, out-and-out lie. It can't. I mean, even they admit it. Again, Operation Warp Speed. There has been no time. I don't know, but they're overtly lying and saying, no, it's safe. Go get it. That's a lie, and they're responsible for people dying. It is, man. I don't know. I hate. being the bearer of bad news. And people will bash me from time to time, go, "You're trying to scare people." The fuck I am. I'm trying to, I'm saying, no, don't be afraid, but be educated, right? If this stuff, right? If this stuff scares you, then, that's kind of on you. It doesn't scare me. It angers me. It's the same information. It's just information. It's the same thing I say about all this like occult knowledge and stuff. Oh, it's scary. It's of the devil. Look, it's information. It's what you do about it that makes the difference, right? What you do comes out of you. If you're a bad person if you are attracted to darkness, you're going to go to darkness no matter what. That information might help you get there. It's what you do with that information. So here's all I'm doing is I'm giving you information to say, this is the information and this is our opinion about it. You can do what you want. You don't have to adopt my opinion. But I am saying, man, it is concerning, when you've got a bunch of people dropping dead, and that's just the ones they acknowledge, right? There's a bunch that they're not. So my cautionary tale is, your body, your choice, right? So if you want to choose to do that, you go right ahead. I'm not gonna, and I encourage people to be educated about it before they do that. Other than that, again, I'm sure I'll get tagged with some kind of misinformation thing on the channel. I don't really give a fuck anymore. Oh, did I tell you? Did I tell you?
FTFF.
FTFF. Did I tell you that YouTube had tagged one of my? They tagged one of my videos. I think it was a CockyPop video too. I can't remember. Where? It was. It was a CockyPop video from last week, and they just tagged it and they said they were going to pull it down because misinformation something. And I said, "F you!" And I demanded a review, manual review, and they came back and I went, "No, that's fine." It's like, really? Because that was one that I really went after him. So I don't even know anymore. I don't know. What I do know is that YouTube really badly juggles numbers. My wife and I were talking about this, and she is involved in some other communities like sewing and that sort of stuff. And even those people, if the powers that be don't like you for whatever reason, whatever you do, they don't like you, they will rob your numbers. They will shadow ban you, do all kinds of stuff. And people have done all kinds of tests. If they take the exact same content, put it under a different channel, then they get the expected results. But on their main channel, once they've pissed them off, so I've pissed them off, so we're in trouble. Oh dear, we're in danger. All right, so let's so fully vaccinated people can visit with nearby grandchildren. Woo! If you get the jab, you get to get back to doing all the crappy shit, that hellhole of a world that used to be. The sooner we move to telling people if you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask, that'll be an incentive. But they still aren't doing that. They go, no, you still have to wear it. It is nonsense, guys.
It's insanity.
Yes, it is.
They can't make you do this shit.
Nope.
Nobody can make you do it. They can bully you. They can coerce you. But they can't make you do it.
Yep, they absolutely are. And they're doing the best that they can to do that. And we see news reports over and over. Saw a new one this morning about somebody in Texas, right? So Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, has removed mask mandates from the state to the complaint of the liberal folks. And yet somebody tried to go into a Trader Joe's, and Trader Joe's store policy, irrespective of the state mandate, says masks are required. And so they're saying that an anti-masker went in and had a big, pitched a fit, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Every one of those stories I think is poppycock, because what I see in the world is that the ones who lose their shit are the mask holes. There are people who get exasperated at some point, but it's always the ones on the side of the mask who escalate first. And they represent it upside down, just like everything else, right? But they keep putting these articles out, and I think they're just all nonsense. They're just trying to, again, frame people who refuse to wear the mask as, crazy people. They're just crazy. They're trying to kill Nana. Anyway. Again, I apologize. I don't mean to get on rants. I'm trying to walk through the poppycock, but I'm human, man. It has an effect on me. Still, I just go, what the hell? What the hell with you people? And this is more of it, right? So here, buried in this, maybe you catch it just from the title, maybe you don't. It's the question of the century. Will tech solve the climate crisis or make it worse? they frame it and couch it within some other things, but right here, simulated volcanic eruptions to offset global heating. They're talking about geoengineering, which we know as chemtrails. But for 30 years, it's been a crazy conspiracy theory until they're openly doing it. I mean, just out in the open, and they go, no, it's geoengineering. It might be a bad idea, but we're going to do it anyway. We gotta block the sun. They've never even made the case as to why that's necessary. We're just going to do it, and it's an excuse because it can't be denied that they've been going with persistent contrails. I mean, again, it takes 5 minutes worth of chemistry and physics to understand that's not even possible. If you see what a contrail actually is, it dissipates in a matter of seconds.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, so
then everybody who walked down the street when it's really cold in the morning should have chemtrails coming following them down the street.
Persistent, yes, persistent contrails.
Persistent. You should be able to see their path behind them.
Yep, continually, all the way. You're exactly right. I absolutely agree with that. Boy, there's so much. I had a bunch of stuff that I wanted to touch on this morning. We've got, let's see, here is your, we have Martin Luther King in the 1960s, famous March on Washington, and his famous I Have a Dream speech, which has been quoted numerous times. I have a dream. And what was the best part of that? That one day people would be judged not on the color of their skin, but the content of their character. It's a beautiful sentiment. Much like, let's say, the Constitution, a beautiful sentiment, but they do just the opposite. Because now it must be by affirmative action. Biden nominates 2 female generals to 4-star commands after promotions delayed under Trump administration. They're being promoted not because of their qualifications, but because they are women. Now, I'm not saying that they're not qualified because they're women. That's not what I'm saying, but I've read a little deeply. They are far less qualified than other candidates, but they want to promote them because they're women, because they want to make a statement. Same here, passed over 3 times a black Marine colonel being promoted to general. Again, of the 40 people in line for the job, I think he was ranked about 33. Nothing to see there, 33. But they decided that they needed more people of color, then that it would encourage and inspire others to say you can do it too. Just like STEM is supposed to, the reason we fake space is to inspire you to go to space.
Right. God.
Oh, man. Just how many times can I say fuck the fucking fuckers, right? It's just...
not enough.
I know. But this is the thing, right? It's like I have strong opinions. And, everybody's got their opinions. They're entitled to them. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got them. Most of them stink. Mm-hmm. They're full of shit. But my opinion is, right, that I am disgusted by people who have prejudice of the kind that would prevent people who are otherwise qualified from gaining in authority or moving up simply because they have indoor plumbing. Or right, or a darker skin tone, or anything like that. That bothers the heck out of me. That is unconscionable. But conversely, promoting them because they have those things is just as unconscionable. It is worse in some ways because what it does is it discourages the hard work and effort of everybody else to say you don't get to succeed because you're not being oppressed. Right. Big in the news over the weekend, of course, was the Royals, or former Royals, I guess, Meghan Sparkly Markley and her lizard man. Being interviewed by Oprah. So you got 2 multimillionaires being interviewed by a billionaire about how oppressed they are. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good. I feel your oppression. I feel your pain. Oh, jeebers. And so, first thing they do, break out the race card. Of course. I mean, did you not expect that? Again, I don't really give a fuck about
of course.
The Royals.
She's just too brown, right?
Yeah, I know.
That's the problem.
Mm-hmm. I need to quit smoking, but this stuff is stressing me. I'm smoking like a steam engine here. Yeah. So anyway, that bugs me. I don't want to get too deep into that, but here's my thing, right? I just think, again, my way, and I've been pretty open about this, is I try to follow as best I can the teachings of J-Bro, Jesus, Jewish carpenter guy, and that really is try to love people, even and especially those who are bad to you and mean, and because that's real love. Everybody's nice to those people who are nice to them. It is something different to be kind and compassionate to those who are assholes. And moreover, right, don't be an asshole. And so I just, that's my way, is to just, I don't want to be, an asshole. And I think that anytime you behave in these ways, whether it is to keep people down because of their, gender or race, even if that is keeping people down because they're not the proper, quote, gender or race, is you're being an asshole. And I don't like it. Speaking of assholes, cops, they do a lot of really delightful things. And again, just normalizing the idea that they can do whatever they want to anyone they want with impunity. Except for when they want to use it as a way to incite riots. So we got that going, which is nice. I noticed here, gosh, I think I lost the article. But basically it said, so the George Floyd thing, if you remember the Pink Floyd incident that happened some months ago, they are now in jury selection for the cop that was at the center of that, Chauvin. Not chauvinistic or anything, but yeah. So they somehow got stuck on jury selection. But keep in mind that happened in Michigan. Well, it's a big stink. They're making big demonstrations out of it here in Seattle. Like, what the fuck? What? Oh, God. So, again, they pull this out. So the two prong fork there is on one side normalizes that the law enforcement can do whatever they want with impunity, and you better follow what they tell you, or the other side, right, which is... Where did I see this? Okay, there's an article here. Where is that? Oh, here we go. This one. So there's a banjo player for a band. I've never heard of Mumford & Sons. Don't know anything about it. I just saw a couple of articles about this. He's deemed a Nazi shitbag because he praised a book that condemned Antifa. I guess that makes me a Nazi shitbag by their definition, because I'm no big fan of Antifa either.
Me either.
Because it's a contrived, social engineering piece of shit. And of course, I've demonstrated this before. You type in Antifa.com and see where it takes you. Redirects you right to the White House. But, it's a loosely, it's not really an organization. It's just people. Right, that's what they keep telling you. So yeah, Rob B, I can dig that they're pretty good. The other headline that I saw about this was, I think it was from Jezebel, and the way that they put it was that there was a far right sympathizer. And I was like, there's the language, right? That's the language we're looking for, making you a sympathizer. And so, again, you are being condemned for not following the ideology that they want you to, and that's the world that we live in now. You must follow their ideology, or you're not only going to be cast out, but you might even. And there's where's that article? I think I lost it. There is a new thing in the UK, and I need some of my UK friends to help me out with this. But it's called Okay, I'm trying to think of the exact wording here. But essentially, they are making it's otherwise non-criminal, but it's basically thought crime. If you say something that doesn't harm anybody, doesn't do anything, but it's against the narrative, you can be charged with a crime. It's being now considered a crime. You didn't actually do anything physically. You didn't harm or violate anybody, but you said something wrong that goes against the narrative, and you can be charged as a crime now. So there's that. Just wanted to
That's ridiculous.
Just wanted to point that out. It's not far away from just complete 1984. I mean, in fact, now it makes 1984 look like a kindergarten class. So we got that.
People
going
need
for
to
us.
get some balls and stand up for themselves.
Fuck
Come
yeah.
on, y'all.
Fuck yeah. Here we go.
Where's the revolution?
Revolution. Yeah. We have taken a look at this, been keeping an eye on the Joe Biden repeatedly having said a dark winter was coming. I'm keeping an eye on this idea that they're going to drop the power grid. But this is interesting. Again, in keeping with the Streisand effect, or methinks the Lady Death protests too much, when people begin to defend a position that nobody's really asked about, then you can see that they're lying. So here we go. Reuters has a fact check. Joe Biden did not predict or manipulate the weather that caused the Texas freeze. Meaning, it's very likely that he did. Yes, exactly. He did not plan Winter Storm as an attack on Texas. Well, okay, technically, he did not do it as an attack on Texas. In fact, Biden probably wasn't really involved at all. But was there a coordinated effort to manipulate the weather to cause that? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unequivocally. So we got that. But just keep an eye out for that dark winter thing. I'll just remind you that dark skies events are the code name that they've been using for the last 30 years to designate their practice runs for long-term power outages. And I know some people they don't like me saying this, but as I follow along, it seems like the easiest, best, and most effective way that they're going to get people to enter these smart cities, or some of them are even, ghost cities in China. They build these cities with no one in them. Right. So what's that for? But you're going to put people into smart cities, and because they're going to do Agenda 21, right, is rewilding. It's called sustainable growth. They're going to make it illegal under penalty of death to be anywhere other than these designated high population areas. Stack them and pack them is how they say. But you're not going to be able to live in a rural space anymore. And the best and easiest way to do that, shut off the power for everybody for an extended period of time. People will sell their soul for a hot shower and 15 minutes of Wi-Fi to check their Instagram account. So you got that going, which is nice. There's more embezzlement out there, as there always is, but just want to see what's going on. These days, again, it has shifted a bit. There are charges, and we have verdicts. There's some adjudication in some of these cases, so it's interesting. But there's a lot of number fours are being included here, so that would include death, I think, something about that. So there's a lot of fours included in some of these articles. So again, just kind of playing along, keeping up to that. Again, vaccine deaths, there are a lot of them. So, but of course has nothing to do with the vaccine. Let's see what we have. Florida man. This is a good one. He claims handgun in his pants is actually his penis. Well, unfortunately, I think he got this from a YouTube video that appeared a few years ago where a police officer was frisking a guy. And
What's this right here? That's my penis. That's your penis. All right.
Oops. That made the rounds a while back. So this guy, I think, decided he would play that game. Turns out it was not his penis. It was a small gun, small caliber. He said it rhymes with stick. Yeah, no, it didn't. So he got a felony charge. For concealed weapon. So we got that going, which is nice. Let's see. We have fact check of that shit. Where your state stands on vaccination? I don't know, man. I had other stuff this morning, and I got just stuck on these vaccine deaths hitting close to home. People that we know, and people that I know getting the jab. I'm like, no, don't.
It's really, I mean, I don't know if anybody follows Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, but she thinks there's going to be a lot of deaths from people who take these vaccines in the coming months.
I don't disagree. I think that's very likely.
Yeah.
And I mean,
we're already seeing a lot. I mean, it's like already you're more likely to die from that than if you got sick.
Indeed. Yes, the numbers are considerably higher for as a percentage of those getting the vaccine. Again, not even just the general public, but for those who get the vaccine versus those who die, it's like 3 orders of magnitude. So
it's like 5%.
Well, yeah, it's more than 1,000 times. Yeah, exactly. Of what your chances are just generally of getting that is. Of course, we know that space is a fraud, right? So we don't have to worry about asteroids. But according to NASA, not a space agency, your chance of dying in a civilization-ending asteroid impact is 0.046%. Your chance of dying by COVID is 0.024%. So you're twice as likely to die from an asteroid as you are from the COVID, just by their own numbers. And that's all the boosting and fraudulent numbers that they could come up with, right? By saying that anyone who died and they had a COVID positive test within 90 days prior to their death, it was listed as a COVID death. So even doing everything they could to prop up those rookie numbers, still couldn't quite get it. So yeah, that's what you got there. Let's see, what else do I have on the agenda this morning? Because it is, oh no, man, it is clown world out there for sure. I'd love to hear your stories about clown world. Certainly you can email me at unintended.consequences3@gmail.com. Or I think there's also the PoppyCock Report at gmail.com. Rose checks that more often than I do. Even still, that's part of the stuff that's keeping her busy. But she is a busy gal. Hopefully she'll get to take a break as we all come to, let's go back to this, the good news, solar return. The return of the sun. Let's focus on the positive stuff, man. Again, I want to just say this real quick, right? This is a time to, again, so the following is opinion. This is entirely my opinion, right? But this is a time to not fight those around you, even if they have alternative views, even if they're assholes to you, right? I'd say just, hug them and love them. Bless, but really take care of those around you, those people that you love. Spend time with them. If they do, go get the jab and it harms them, at least you got to tell them that you love them, right? Instead of arguing with them about whether or not they should have done it. So, Florida Man story, please. I did, Jay Armstrong. I just did. We did the Florida Man just a minute ago. You can catch it on the replay, I promise. Florida Man was, he said it was his penis, and it was not a penis, it was a gun. Yeah, space. David Wright says, space is real. It's the area behind the face mask where someone's brain should be. I'd take that. That's an empty space. Probably 10 to the minus 17 torr vacuum there. Yeah, exactly. But anyway, this is my opinion, is that this is exactly the time when you should be as kind as possible to those around you. And set an example if possible. One of the things that I've noticed, we've talked about this on numerous occasions, is go back to the idea, the stories about the crazy anti-maskers who go nuts, right? And what we see is exactly the opposite of that. And I've kind of been considering that. I had a couple of incidents locally here where store employee really went crazy on me. And I considered what's going on there and their behavior. And part of it is I see, again, this non-organic behavior that they are triggered. And anytime I see that triggered response, I know that that's part of the programming. That it is.
Hi, sweetheart. I'm streaming. Can you please go out and shut the door for a sec?
Oh, sorry.
Tell them it's okay.
Oh, sorry.
They didn't know. It's okay. I'm cool. I was listening and I apologize.
I thought I muted. Sorry.
I apologize. I was...
1 sec.
No, it's all right. I was eavesdropping. I'm sorry. I was just curious. Okay, so... dear. I lost my train of thought. This... I'm just back to this. I want to go to the solar return. Anyway, guys, this is when we get into a situation, right, where so the psychology of these people being mask holes, right? Part of it does seem to be that it is fear, right? And so they're not. It's not that they are, trying to. It's not that they don't care that you don't wear the mask. It's that they have to. And they're mad because you have the integrity to say no. It's the same kind of thing that I see around me in my life, that the closer you get to the light, the more it irritates the fuck out of the darkness, right? And so when there is those areas within people that they know, they know that they have those issues, it really bothers them. And so good behavior, like Francis Sage says, the mirror test, right? So whenever they're confronted with people who expose their own fuckery, it drives them crazy. They don't want to see it. And so when you have the integrity and a temerity to stand up and say, no, this is bullshit, it bothers them. It tweaks them really bad. And so it is easy. And conversations, this is a large part of the unintended consequences stream from Saturday. If you haven't, go back and check it out. I encourage that. In talking about these ideas, who is your enemy, right? And they have always created an enemy for us. Divide and conquer is what they do. They have now made the enemy to be anybody who doesn't agree with you philosophically, right, or have the same views as you. This is what we see daily in the news, that you should ostracize and hate anyone who doesn't have the same ideas as you do. This far-right sympathizers. And what do they consider far-right? Anything right of far left, what we would have considered centrist previously. But again, what is it? Of what value is it if, again, everybody's nice to those people who are nice to them, right? You're no better than anybody else if you just, mean to the people who are mean to you and nice to the people who are nice to you. And the point that I was making on Saturday is that all this stuff that we've learned in the truth community about all the lies around us, right? What does it buy you? What it really does is, shakes up your worldview and can get you pretty upset. I think most of us have had the experience as we were struggling with trying to integrate the information that we've been lied to, right? There's a sense of anger there. You feel betrayed. But if you can let that, anger pass, here's ultimately what we come to. I think everybody has come to this place, or most of us have come to this place of understanding that it's not just one thing, right? They lied about everything. So why? It always comes to this why. And the why seems to be, again, that it is a spiritual battle. We come to this. It is a battle for your very soul. And so if you acknowledge that and you say, yeah, it's a spiritual battle, but then you don't work on that or even acknowledge your own spiritual aspect, what does it buy you? Of what gain is it to know everything about mud flood or mud fossils or the shape of the earth or history or any of these things? What does that information buy you if it doesn't affect who you are? And to get to acknowledge that it is a spiritual battle. It's a battle for your very soul, right? To me, that's the most important part. And if we don't demonstrate that, if we don't address those issues, how are you any better? Does that knowledge make you a better person, right? Does it cause you to be a better individual because you know the shape of the earth? You know you've been lied to. You know that the pandemic is a plandemic, right? What does that buy you? How does that make you a better person? I submit that it doesn't. Right, that it takes that interchange, and that interchange is what allows you then to respond in a way that's appropriate, not reactionary, as what the sheep will do, but to respond, and to respond in a way that, where possible, is kind and considerate, and sets an example. In the same way, not wearing a mask sets an example that you're educated and you have, again, the temerity to stand up against opposition. But in the same way, showing compassionate consideration for those who haven't gotten there yet is part of the same kind of demonstration. Again, these are my opinions. Do with it what you will. Unsolicited advice is usually worth exactly what you pay for it. So I'll give you that. Anyway, I take it you're back with us now, Karen.
Yes, I've been back.
All right. So I want to get your take on that, right? So again, that's my opinion. I'd love to hear from you because I have an enormous amount of respect for your views on these matters.
Well, I agree. I mean, it's if you don't do the inner work, then I don't think you're gonna ever really do any spiritual growth if you don't go within. And I think most people don't want to go within because it's hard to look at yourself.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like you're saying, well, does that information make you a better person? No, not automatically, but it could. It depends what you do with that information. That information could contribute to you being a better version of yourself.
Yeah. I say, yeah, exactly.
Not better than somebody else, but a better version of yourself.
Exactly. I agree with that. I totally agree with that. It's not about being better than somebody else. It's about being better than you were yesterday. Right. And so that every day is the opportunity to become a better person. And yeah, again, so from the very beginning, right, we're talking about the information. There's no attempt at fear mongering here to scare anybody. I mean, the information out there is ugly, certainly, but it is just that, it's information. And I think that ignoring it, right, or pretending it doesn't, it's not there, that's not helpful. And so we can acknowledge it, right? But what do you do with that information? And that makes all the difference. Is what do you do with it? That really makes an enormous. It's very telling, right? That really is what reveals your character, is what you do with that information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rob B says 9 years of sobriety makes you look deep inside yourself. Yeah, it would, for sure. I've often said that reality is for people who can't handle drugs. wait. Oh, here's one. I love this one. Let's see. Come back here. Space fans crack secret message on NASA's Mars parachute. And there's another good one. So we've got not only a parachute on Mars, but a helicopter on Mars, despite the fact that we're told it has 1% of the atmosphere, as does the Earth. So how are you going to get a helicopter to work in no atmosphere?
That's, good question.
Lie after lie after lie after lie. And they just stick it in your face. But here we go. This is a binary code, what this pattern here in this parachute, and it turns out to spell dare mighty things. Oh, please. I bet it's an anagram for dookie face. I don't know. It's just sometimes I get tickled at NASA and the preposterous nature of the stuff but sometimes, like today, it annoys me. I gotta admit, I'm kind of in a mood today. I was so upset by hearing that good people's family is being not just affected but killed, right, by this nonsense. It shook me up, right, that like trying to figure out what can we really do. You can't convince them, and they've been so completely convinced of the nature of the lie that they take it as hostility of you toward them, right? When you're trying to demonstrate love and compassion for them by encouraging them to be careful, right? And they take it as hostility and an attack, right? And you're crazy. And then when the outcome is less than positive, your first instinct, I think, is to say, told you so. And that's probably inappropriate when people have had loved ones pass.
Yeah.
But it is, I guess, concerning. I'm not scared. I don't scare easy. But it is definitely concerning. I'm so thankful that from the outset, when this thing first started, I called my parents, who are, not getting any younger. My parents are both well into their, my mom's late 70s, my dad's in his early 80s. And so, I was very concerned that they would have taken this, seriously. And from the outset, my mom's like, horse pucky. I'm like, right on. Woo! You go, Mom. She had no part of it, right? So I'm fairly certain that they're not getting the jab. They just, I don't think they would do it. But my daughter is a teacher in public schools in Texas, and because they are offering, all 50 states now are opening up for teachers, and as a result, she got the first one, and I'm just like, oh dear. I haven't gone through, she knows my feelings. I don't think she knows how intense my feelings are about it, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed there on that one. And I didn't ask her directly, but I did get the sense that it was not just pressure, but it was kind of part of the contract. If you're going to continue teaching and go back to the classroom, then you need to do that. And, she's just a few years into her teaching career, so certainly wouldn't want to damage that. I understand the reasons that people do, but it sure is disconcerting, and it sure is difficult to see those that you care about do things that I'd say no, but 99.9%, right, is going to be harmful for them. It is a challenging situation, to be sure. And I don't know that I have answers for you guys. I don't have any magic words to give you that this is how to be, other than connect with your Creator, work on yourself. You cannot change or fix anybody else. The best that you can do, again, is to improve yourself, and that your response is better, right? And that's, I don't know. Like I said, I wish I had magic words for you. I wish I could wave a magic wand and make it all better, because I want to, right? All the time. I just want to fix it, right? I just want to make it all better, and I can't do it, and it's frustrating, right? And it hurts my soul to see this around me, and there's nothing I can do other than, at this point, as I've said in the last couple of months, my focus is really now more on you guys. Right, is to help you not feel so alone. I don't think that I can convince anybody who doesn't see it themselves. I don't know that I can do that. I know that there are people like Brian, for example. He's all about trying to flat smack people and wake them up. I applaud that. Right, if you can do it, good on you. I haven't been very successful, but I get frustrated pretty quickly. It's like I really don't do well with stupidity, and so people display willful ignorance. I can't. It drives me crazy. So I disengage pretty quickly. So it's not for me. But I do definitely have compassion and caring, and so. I feel like right now my efforts are best spent in trying to encourage you guys in this community to embrace one another, right, and to keep chin up and stiff upper lip, and we're going to get through this, right, and to pursue, as I am, a communal living situation amongst the like-minded, because I don't think I can much more continue to operate in a world that is the opposite of what I want to be. I can't do it anymore. I just can't do it. It is
It takes a lot of energy to exist in that way.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you spend probably twice as much energy as you should, really, in life, if you're having to deal with that. Mm-hmm. Rather than just live how you were supposed to live the way that it feels we were meant to live.
Yeah, I agree.
Rather than go along with their artificial system and ideals.
Mm. As we're wrapping this up, I saw one more headline over here. I just went, oh gosh, here we go. So Forbes magazine a few weeks ago had an article saying, don't do the research yourself, just trust us. Unconscionable. I mean, if there was any more indication that you're being lied to, right? Don't look. Here you go. Canadians shouldn't shop around for vaccines with higher efficacy rates, experts say. Yeah, don't do any research. Don't do that. just trust us, because they care so much. Right.
In fact, don't look at the efficacy of anything ever at all.
No, don't do any research into what's in it. Yeah, don't look at what's in it. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Just get your booster every year.
Yeah, do that. And you may have to have 5 or 6 or 10, jabs, and wear 45 masks. Yeah. So, I don't know, man. Anyway, we've come to pretty much the top of the hour. Karen, thank you so much for joining me. You help keep me sane. and you have saved me, because I don't really know what I'd do without you. I've kind of come to depend on you, my friend, and I appreciate you being there. And to our listeners, thank you so much for being here. And I apologize for being, I guess, kind of a bummer this morning. I've been kind of down. It just, like I said, it really took me aback when I got a couple of emails. One from just somebody who's really going through it with everything around them. And sometimes life is just a bitch, man. It feels like, hey, Jenny, thank you. I love you too. You guys have been making my life tolerable, in the last few months. So thank you for that. But yeah, it knocked me off kilter, I think, to see so much pain going on around us. And then it just hits close to home, right? When people that have had people close to them who ignored the warnings and did it anyway, and then it cost them their lives. And I'm just like, fuck, man, it's hard. And so, I don't know, for what it's worth, right? None of us are immune from this. We're all going to have days like that. I can almost assure you by Thursday, I'll be back to my usual effusive self, and really looking forward to getting together with people at the solar return. I bounced back pretty quick, but man, it just hit me hard this morning. And I don't think any of us are immune from that feeling of frustration and impotency in the face of all this stuff. It just seems overwhelming. But again, I just encourage you to, again, hug those around you. So both those in your community, right, who can help you feel sane, but even those in your family and your friends who are, not on board with the same info, doesn't mean you can't love them. Right. And I encourage you to do that. And maybe it's that love that will help them realize that you're not their enemy, that you are really looking out for their interest when you suggest that maybe they should take a second look at this before they make a decision that they can't undo. Right. If you come at them with a high elevation of emotion and you're freaking out, they're going to think you're nuts. But if you approach them with love and compassion and concern, maybe they'll better get that you're looking out for their interests. It's because you care about them. Thank you so much again in the chat for your kind words. I love the emails and the message you guys send, the comments on the videos. Thank you so much. It really does mean the world to me, especially again like days like today when things like just seem like, oh God. But you guys lift me up and lift my spirits. You do the same, Karen. You really help me out. Thank you again. Personally, me to you.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Thanks for joining us. Okay, I will now say goodbye and adieu to you as I play a little music on the way out. Thank you, Karen, for joining me, especially with the last minute notice. Hey, Rose, get your shit together, man. No, I was kidding. She's been piled up. When they went to 2 episodes a week, it shook her world up. So we'll have to figure out a way for her to do all this stuff. Anyway, much love to everybody, and we'll see you again soon. Karen, I'm going to say goodbye now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Night. Say goodnight, Karen. You're beefy, by the way.
That's right.
Check out Karen Beefy on on Facebook. All right, guys. Again, thanks so much for joining us this morning, and for putting up with me belly aching, I guess, a bit, because it's a tough world out there, right? And I encourage you to embrace those around you, and yourself. Be good to yourself today, right? Do something nice for yourself. Because if you don't, maybe nobody else will. So do something nice for yourself and maybe somebody else too, right? That'd be helpful. Guys, I encourage you to have a great day. We'll see you again on Thursday. Who knows where it'll be, but either way, we'll be back. We'll get together and spend some time together. And I'll be back again this weekend. Have a great day, guys.
1, 2, 3. Cocks don't pop at all, poppycock cocks do poppy by 4. And that's why all the folks on poppycock keep poppycocks in a jar. But once I met a girl on poppycock back in the poppycock hills, they won't let me back on poppycock, reckon they never will. Well, poppycock, you're on
pushed the wrong button.
Cocks don't pop at all, poppycock cocks do poppy by far. And that's why all the folks on poppycock keep poppycocks in a jar. But once I met a girl on poppycock back in the poppycock hills, they won't let me back on poppycock, reckon they never will. Well, poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old poppycock, poppycock, you and me, Rose and Baldini. The earth don't spin at all on poppycock, flatter than a hot roadkill. And beer don't stick to balls on poppycock, reckon it never will. Once I met two folks on poppycock, one bald, the other likes cats. She wild as a rosy, quicker than a satellite, no poppycock about that. Well, poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old poppycock, poppycock, you and me, Rose and Baldini. Take it, Trey. Sheep don't like to flock on poppycock, ain't no poppycock pens. You might just find yourself on poppycock, waking with a poppycock can. And poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old poppycock, poppycock, you and me, Rose and Baldini. Why so freaking early? Poppycock, you and